When supporting customers and trying to get them to accept our word as final, there are three tones we can use. We can be passive, which is to really be a doormat, and that does not work. When you're giving bad news, when you're saying no, when you're trying to get your customer to accept your word as final. We can be aggressive, which is harsh, it is strong, it is a firm no. But that usually doesn't work either. A third option is to be assertive, and that's what this video is all about. I am so glad you chose to stop on my video. We will get right to it. In this video, I will show you how to assert yourself with your approach and your vocal tone. My definition of assertiveness is say what you mean what you say without being mean when you say it. So when you say what you mean and mean what you say without being mean when you say it, it's easier to make this happen when you speak with your assertive tone. There's an assertive tone of voice. When we're talking to customers, we have three options for tone. We can be passive, we can be assertive, or we can be aggressive. To help you understand this, imagine that you are standing near a street with a toddler, and you don't want the toddler to go into the street. Your job is to protect the toddler. Let's look at the different tones, passive, aggressive, and assertive, as we protect the toddler from going into the street. You could be passive. Jimmy, honey, I was hoping you wouldn't go into the street. Or we could be aggressive. Jimmy. Or we could be assertive. Jimmy, stay where I can see you. Do not go into the street. The passive tone probably is not going to keep Jimmy from going into the street, particularly if he's high energy. The aggressive tone, well, that's going to get the job done, but it's too much. We don't want to talk to Jimmy that way, and we're mindful of other people near us who may have heard our profanity and our harshness with Jimmy. The assertive tone, though, that is likely to work. When it comes to our customers, if you are passive, customers are going to run right over you. You know that. If you're aggressive, it might work, but then again, it might not. Even if it does work, it's too much. The job is not to have the final word, not to overtalk the customer, not to dominate. No, we want to be more assertive. We want to say what we mean what we say without being mean when we say it. Like with Jimmy. Jimmy, stay where I can see you. Do not go into the street. When we talk to customers with this tone, we are coming across as confident, and they are far more likely to accept our word as final. So that is the goal. Say what you mean what you say without being mean when you say it. I am sharing with you here 3 examples for how to apply an assertive tone and assertive words to situations when you have to give bad news or what your customer wants is simply not possible. And we can do this assertively, saying what we mean what we say without being mean when we say it, and get our customer to accept our word as final. Now, all of these examples are actual examples that I have written for clients. In the first example, an insurance agent has let their license lapse, and now to get it reinstated, they have to pay fees and penalties, which are hefty, and they're trying to avoid that. They want the license, but they don't want to pay the fees. Here's how to assertively handle this situation. The state of Texas does not let us renew licenses for any agent until all fees and penalties have been paid. So that is saying what you meaning what you say without being mean when you say it. It is helpful when you are trying to get your customer to accept your word as final, to point to whatever is keeping you from giving the customer what they want. Is there a regulation, a policy, a law? Here they point to, or I pointed to in the example, the state of Texas does not allow. So if there is a body, an entity, a policy that is keeping you from giving the customer what they want, go ahead and state that. Here is a second example. We cannot refill your expired contact lens prescription. The FDA regulates us, and the FDA does not allow us to refill expired contact lenses. To purchase contact lenses, you must see an optometrist annually. Can I schedule an appointment for you now, or do you prefer to call us back? Again, this is assertive. The governing body here is the FDA. The issue, as you could probably see, is the customer thinks, well, my vision hasn't changed. Why don't you just let me order contacts? And that's a very common issue. Maybe you've experienced it, but the FDA does not allow that. So again, cite the reason that you cannot give the customer what they want while being assertive. Here's my final example. I agree that we need someone to look at your lawn quickly. Regrettably, all our technicians and managers are out serving other customers now, and the schedule for the remainder of the day is full. We can book a technician for you tomorrow at 8. So in this scenario, there's no governing body, but logistically with the routes, we're not able to do what the customer wants, so we specifically state that, saying what we mean, meaning what we say, without being mean when we say it. That is the goal. I want you to simply be assertive, and you're far more likely to get your customer to accept your word as final. Assertive people are taken seriously, they foster trust, and they're more likely to get people to accept their word as final. So I want you to go forward always saying what you mean, meaning what you say, without being mean when you say it. If I helped you today, do me a favor and like this video and subscribe to my channel. I want you to be the first to know when I release a new video. Cheers!